Hi, I'm Bob. Welcome back to the solutions to exercises in the textbook Microeconomics Theory and Applications with Calculus, the 5th edition by Professor Jeffrey Perloff. We will look at the challenge section in Chapter 8 today. Here's exercise 5.1. In the challenge solution, will it make a difference to the analysis whether the government collects the lump sum costs, such as registration fees, annually or only once when the firm starts operation? How would each of these franchise taxes affect the firm's long-run supply curve? Explain your answer. It would not make a difference to the analysis. The lump sum costs shift the firm's average cost curve upward from AC1 to AC2, no matter whether they are collected annually or only once. The market supply curve is horizontal at the firm's minimum average cost in the long run. So, the market supply curve shifts upward by the same amount as the minimum average cost increases. Although the size of the shift may not be the same, it would not change the four main results. The market equilibrium price increases. The market equilibrium quantity decreases. The firm's output increases. And the number of competitive firms decreases. Let's solve exercise 5.2. Answer the challenge for the short run rather than for the long run. In the short run, the firm's marginal cost is unchanged after the increase in the fixed lump sum costs. So, the firm's supply curve is unchanged. The market supply curve is the horizontal sum of the supply curves of all the firms in the market. It is also unchanged. The market equilibrium price and quantity remain the same. The change in the fixed cost will not affect the firm's minimum average variable cost, so it will not affect the firm's shutdown decision in the short run. The firm's quantity of output and the number of firms in the market remain the same. The fixed cost increase only reduces the firm's economic profit. Let's do exercise 5.3. The North American Free Trade Agreement provided for two-way long-haul trucking across the U.S.-Mexican border. U.S. truckers objected, arguing that the Mexican trucks did not have to meet the same environmental and safety standards as U.S. trucks. They were concerned that the combination of these lower fixed costs and lower Mexican wages would cause them to lose business to Mexican drivers. Their complaints delayed the implementation of this agreement. What would have been the short-run and long-run effects of allowing entry of Mexican drivers on market price and quantity and the number of U.S. truckers? In the short run, the entry of Mexican drivers shifts the supply curve to the right. The short-run equilibrium price drops from P1 to P2, and the equilibrium quantity rises from Q1 to Q2. In the long run, the market supply is horizontal at the firm's minimum long-run average cost. Because Mexican drivers have a lower average cost than their U.S. counterparts, the long-run market supply curve becomes two parts. If the demand for drivers is lower than the residual supply from Mexico, the long-run market equilibrium moves from E1 to E2. The long-run market equilibrium price drops from P1 to P2, and the equilibrium quantity rises from Q1 to Q2. The Mexican drivers supply the entire market quantity, and the American drivers lose jobs. If the demand for drivers exceeds the residual supply from Mexico, then some US drivers are still working in the market. Let's go to exercise 5.4. A perfectly competitive market has identical firms, free entry and exit, and an unlimited number of potential entrants. The government starts collecting a specific tax. How do the long-run market and firm equilibria change? In the long run, the specific tax raises the firm's average cost and marginal cost by T. The minimum average cost also increases by T. The long-run competitive market supply is horizontal at the minimum average cost. So, the market supply shifts upward by T from S1 to S2. The market equilibrium price increases from P1 to P2. The market equilibrium quantity decreases from Q1 to Q2. The firm's equilibrium output remains unchanged. The number of firms in the market must decrease. Let's answer exercise 5.5. The finding that the average real price of abortions has remained relatively constant over the past 25 years suggests that the supply curve is horizontal. The researcher estimated that the price elasticity of demand for abortions ranges from -0.7 to -0.99. By how much would the market price of abortions and the number of abortions change if a lump sum tax is assessed on abortion clinics that raises their minimum average cost by 10%? Use a figure to illustrate your answer. The long-run competitive market supply is horizontal at the firm's long-run minimum average cost. Since the firm's minimum average cost increases by 10%, the market supply curve shifts upward by the same amount, and the market equilibrium price increases by 10%. We then use the demand elasticity definition to find the range of the change in the quantity of abortion. The price of abortion increases by 10% due to the tax. The percentage change in the number of abortions equals 0.1 times the demand elasticity. If the price elasticity of demand is between -0.99 to -0.7, then the percentage change in the number of abortions is between -9.9% and -7%. That means the number of abortions falls by 7 to 9.9%. Thank you for solving the exercises in this chapter with me in the past 2 weeks. See you soon in the next chapter. Thank you for watching this video and subscribing to my YouTube channel. See you next time.